You know that feeling, right? You're stuck in rush hour traffic, just not moving. It's this soul-crushing problem that almost every single growing city deals with. But what if the answer wasn't just about pouring more concrete? What if it was actually about writing smarter code? Let's get into how Dubai is tackling one of the biggest headaches of modern life. And this is really the core question that cities all over the world are wrestling with. For decades, the answer was just a simple yes. But here's the crazy thing. Studies have shown that building more roads, well, it often just creates more traffic in the long run. It's this thing called induced demand. The new lanes fill up, and bam, you're right back where you started. So what's the alternative?
Well, this slide nails the huge strategic shift we're seeing. The old way was all about physical expansion. Just add more concrete, build more roads. The new approach, the one being pioneered in places like Dubai, is all about intelligence. It's using smarter code to squeeze every last bit of efficiency out of the roads we already have. It's a move from brute force to digital finesse.
So let's zoom in on our key study. Dubai is a city famous for its explosive growth, and now it's shifting into a new phase of modernization. And guess what's at the very heart of that transformation? Its traffic system. And it's important to realize this isn't happening in a bubble. This is part of a much bigger trend across the entire Gulf region. You see cities like Riyadh and Doha also using tech, everything from smart parking to self-driving buses, to solve those daily bottlenecks that affect millions of people's lives. Okay, so what does this new approach actually look like on the ground? Well, instead of just focusing on another massive construction project, the city is really doubling down on software and data. At the core of this whole strategy is a system called UTC-UX Fusion. Now, this is where it gets really cool. Think of it like the city's central brain for traffic. But here's the key difference. Unlike your normal traffic light that's just on a dumb fixed timer, this system is adaptive. It's alive, constantly responding to the city's pulse in real time. So how does it all work? It's a really powerful three-step loop. First, an army of sensors and cameras all over the city are gathering live data. How many cars, how fast they're going, where they're bunching up. Second, the AI chews on all that data, finds patterns, and, this is the magic part, it predicts where traffic is going to build up next. And third, it proactively changes the traffic light timings to get ahead of the jam and keep things moving. And the goals here are incredibly practical. This is not just tech for tech's sake. It's all about making your daily commute smoother, cutting down on those infuriating standstills at big intersections, and really importantly, giving priority to buses and emergency vehicles when it really, really matters. But does it actually make a difference? Well, Dubai's Roads and Transport Authority is expecting a 10 to 20% drop in congestion at the city's biggest trouble spots. Now, that's not just a number on a spreadsheet, that is a real, tangible improvement you would actually feel on your way to work. But hang on, how do you roll out a system this complex across an entire city without causing absolute mayhem? Well, you practice first. You practice in a virtual world. And this is where something called the digital twin comes into play. Think of this like a real-life video game for city planners. A digital twin is an incredibly detailed virtual copy of the entire road network. It's like a traffic crystal ball where they can test any idea, no matter how crazy, without a single real car being affected. It lets them experiment and innovate in a way that was just impossible before. So what can this thing actually do? Well, planners can run a simulation of the morning rush hour. They can drop in an unexpected accident on a major highway to see what happens, or they can test out a planned road closure for a big event. It lets them see all the ripple effects, how a small change in one spot might create a massive traffic jam miles away, all before they ever commit to it in the real world. But look, technology is only half the story. A system this smart needs really smart people to run it. And Dubai isn't just buying this tech off the shelf. They're actually building the expertise to own it themselves. This is a total game changer. Instead of just relying on outside vendors forever, the city's transport authority created its very own internal team of specialists. They call it the AI Factory, and this is all about building a sustainable, long-term capability from the inside out. So what do these folks in the AI Factory actually do? Well, they're not just maintaining the system. They're constantly studying traffic behavior, building and testing new predictive models, and always refining the tools they already have. This creates a cycle of non-stop improvement, making sure the system gets smarter as the city itself grows. So zooming back out, what can other cities learn from this?
What does this mean for every other city facing that same old gridlock? Well, Dubai's strategy is basically a blueprint.
And this table breaks it down perfectly. You take a common problem like chronic traffic. The Dubai model solution is smart, adaptive software. You've got tight budgets that can't handle endless construction. The solution is simulation, using a digital twin to optimize what you already have. And for the huge challenge of planning for future growth, it's about investing in your own in-house talent. It's a complete, holistic model. But if there's one really critical lesson here, it's this. Fancy tools are great, but they are only half of the equation. The real, lasting advantage comes from developing your own local digital talent, the people who can build, adapt, and improve these systems for years and years to come. Which leaves us with a final, really fascinating thought. As our cities get bigger and more complex, maybe the most important infrastructure we build won't be made of steel and concrete, but of data and algorithms. So, is the future of our cities ultimately written in code? It's something to think about the next time you're just sitting there waiting for the light to turn green.